In this week's show, we've got this bloke, Chris Packham.
Top flight Welsh Partridges were shooting the mighty Garth with Paul, Fieldsports Nation member Gary and the Sparsholt Massive.
Exciting then. Very. Fingers crossed, just leave us alone, Drakeford.
It's a win-win at Warter Priory. Fieldsports Nation member Pete Thompson helps fund our legal battle and enjoys a world-class driven day.
This was just a starter drive to get us warmed up.
We've got James Marchington with the best hunting and shooting videos on hunting YouTube. We've got David with the news on the news stump, and I'll be bringing you more about the Chris Packham case from here, the Royal Courts of Justice in London. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain.
Right, I'm ready.
The People's Republic of Wales is giving country folk a battering at the moment, especially the shooting community.
Is Wales a good place to be to run a shoot these days? No, it's awful.
So before government policy sterilises the Welsh countryside beyond recognition, we're going to embrace it, enjoy the hospitality and shoot some amazing drives. This is shoot owner James Davis Cook's own day. He has invited old friends from his Sparsholt days. The less said about that, the better. Then there's Paul Childerley and Gary Froggatt.
Come on, Gary, get your kit.
Gary!
Come on, get your kit out.
The Fieldsports Nation member who won this day after James offered it for our weekly prize draw. This is a new piece of ground for James and complements his Gwisani shoot. Let's just say the drives we'll experience today will require a bit more lead. But Mr. Childerley is feeling cool, calm and collected.
I am excited actually, because it's like I've not got to organise anything. I can just stand here, and if all the birds go out to the side, I'll be like, well, you know, better luck next drive. So no, it's brilliant. It's great. No pressure, apart from trying to hit a few in front of you. But that'll be all right. It'll come good sometime on the day.
Yeah. This is good topography, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's beautiful, beautiful area. You know, putting these partridges off here instantly, I don't know what's to the top of there. Oh, that'd be 40 yards straight away. So it's going back to the ground behind us. Yeah, so they're going to be good birds, and the wind's coming down the valley, so they're going to be curling nicely. So yeah, heaven. Here we go. We'll have one
Gary draws the neighbouring peg, so we'll be able to keep a close eye on him.
What's that? What's it hit?
Car. Tractor.
As plain as a clay.
Yes, it's Gary.
Gary hit the tractor.
The drive delivers the goods and Paul shoots some crackers.
Sorry. Go on now, you got that. Yes. Quality. Go. Must be the rain.
Must be the rain.
Whoa. Oh, which one? Oh, not that one. No, it's good. We shot one or two. I think I had about 3 left and rights. Missed 1 or 2. That was a good one. Good thing about this job, we get more than one chance, David. We normally got one animal.
Yeah.
So, it takes a little time to get right. We can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 7.
With the whistle blown, there's Paul's post-match analysis with Ant McLaren on his right, who many of you will recognise from the TGS crew, and Gary to his left.
I was first 3 for 3 on the first 3, and I thought, oh, this is a new me. Yeah. Then I missed a couple on the trot.
Yeah.
Back to normal.
yeah, I'm the same.
So is this familiar ground for you, Ant, then? You've shot these many times, you're good friends with James.
Yeah, so this is obviously James's new estate that he's taken over 2 years ago. So I've never shot this one before, but I've shot Guzzani, the home shoot, and Guzzani's phenomenal. He normally does a great job down there, but to see him up here on the hill ground, making it work with the Partridges.
Yeah. Is it totally different than the other one's more pheasants, is it?
Yeah. So real nice wooded valleys, you know,
right, yeah.
cover crops dotted about as well, and it's very sort of traditional pheasant shooting type valleys, you know, grassland. Whereas this obviously open hill ground, and to see him playing the partridge game as well as the pheasant game, and doing it well is it's impressive.
Yeah, they test you, these partridge, especially on these banks. They bit of wind, they want to follow the undulating. Yeah, that's right. They're
sort of diving, they're curling.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
they're not making their mind up, and then they commit, and it's like, you know, it's tricky shooting, good shooting.
Very good. Apparently that's the lowest one.
Is it? As a warm-up drive?
Yeah, that was a warm-up. So we better pull our finger out and see if we can
step up the game. You did actually shoot a cracker one at the end there, didn't you?
Yeah, well, once they've got
into them.
Yeah, you've got to get it, you know,
get
it's
that
a bit of a shock to the system at first when you come off like that.
Yeah. To be fair, I shot really well to start with, and then I shot pretty poor in the middle.
Yeah, I was glad when the pheasants started to show. I thought they're a bit bigger then. So,
bigger but faster, yeah.
I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed it.
Well, very good.
After a quick sharpener and a chance to admire the dogs and beaters wagon, which apparently is super comfortable thanks to its original suspension, we head across the stream to the second drive.
Do you read a drive? Is it important to read a drive?
Yep. It's quite funny actually you said that. Yeah, so when you get to a peg, first thing you think basically the flight line. I do it anyway through work really. Beater's going to come up, the wind's down the valley, so probably going to bring in this flank, bring his flank in quite hard to start with, and then bring the back off and then gently bring in the top flank, otherwise you'll end up with too much pressure on the top side and it'll go out the bottom end of the line. So probably push that in hard, bring it up and probably push it towards or over top those trees. Yeah, and the birds will go home. So a lot of the birds come from this valley behind us or this bank behind us, so Jesus. Yeah.
So beater pressure is really important. So like if the valve goes and suddenly the birds are going to go out the wrong side.
Totally, like the first drive, I was speaking to the keeper and he said, oh, they were so awkward today because the wind's down the valley. You had to push the bottom flank in so hard. They basically pushed the drive out the top end of out of his left-hand flank. They pushed him right to the left-hand flank. So everything went right to the top of the gun line to come back down. So yeah, partridges are the knack. It's a bit like Grace really. You know, it's a knack. You got to read the lines, read the flight lines of the birds where they normally go, and where they go in what weather. That's important as well. So. Yes! God. They need a bit.
So you may have a drive, but you could have 57 varieties of how that drive's going to run.
Totally. And one flag person waving or making too much noise in the wrong place ruins your whole drive, guaranteed. So you're relying on beaters a lot as well. You're relying on people that have been doing it for a long time in that area, or pushing that area and they hold back when it's, you know, last thing you want is a beater stood on top of the bank, cracking his flag, waving his flag, with the wind in his back, pushing everything out the bottom end of the drive. So yeah, it's but mind you, that's when the radios turn red and follow this lot. Whew, that was a good shot.
Halfway through, David heads over to check on Gary. He's having a great time even without his brother Mark, who recommended Gary join our membership.
Nice one, Gary. So good birds here today?
Excellent, absolutely fantastic. I've never seen birds fly like this. Absolutely phenomenal.
Do you think your brother would be envious?
Very. I'm surprised the phone hasn't rung already. It will do.
Cheers, thanks James.
After another fruitful drive, and with the bag limit already within sight, it's time for 11s with a delicious selection of flame-grilled game on the menu. This shoot is a truly family affair with lots of little people involved in the day. It adds to a relaxed, warm atmosphere.
Yeah, so this beat, we had it last year, but with no game because of bird flu and egg supply into the UK. And then this year, obviously, we've managed to acquire the day-olds that we needed, and we've reared everything ourselves and put it out, and we've had a really good season so far.
Amazing topography. I mean, just really beautiful.
We're very lucky.
The fact that you've got 2 shoots now, that's obviously better for business. You can run shoots back to back, is it?
Yes, we can do. We can do, and we do. But it's obviously, again, going back to like communities and everything else. I've employed a beekeeper, Connor, who's doing a cracking job. You know, I couldn't have done it without him. He's absolutely got this place flying, and long may it continue, and it'll get better year on year. Grisani is very good, don't get me wrong, and when we do the back-to-back days this year, we'll be mixing the 2 in, but there's scope here for another minimum of 3 or 4 drives, so we can run back-to-back days here next year.
So what's this one called then?
This is the Garth. The mighty Garth.
The mighty Garth. Is that the name? Okay, the mighty
No,
Garth.
it's not. That's self-proclaimed. It's not that mighty. No, it's no.
Stick now. There you go. Mighty Garth. We call it the mighty Garth. That's cool.
As hinted earlier, the Welsh Government is making it hard for shoots to function here. Thankfully, a well-supported petition prevented the licensing of game bird release. Drive 4 and the pinnacle of the newly named Mighty Garth. It's a monster of a valley. If the beaters hadn't already proved their fitness, this one will ensure a good night's sleep. Paul doesn't get quite as many birds on this peg, but he's certainly not high and dry. It's quite a climax to what has been a really special day.
I'll finish on that one. Grisani is very much what it is at the minute, and it can't go much further where this has unlimited scope, in my opinion.
Okay, exciting then.
Very. Fingers crossed, just leave us alone, Drakeford. Oh.
For more information about Grisani or the Mighty Garth, drop James a line on Facebook by looking for Grisani Sporting. He still has a few days during the 2023-2024 season. Expect to pay about £54 a bird. He's also happy to hear from falconers if they want to fly on game on this amazing estate in Flintshire. And if you want to support what we do and have a chance to win special prizes like a peg on this shoot, head to fieldsportschannel.tv and click on Join Today.
Thank you, Paul and James. Well, this is normally where I give you a plug for the Fieldsports Nation, and this is an extra special plug because we're outside the Royal Courts of Justice and we have just had our 15 minutes of fame with Chris Packham, who I believe is still behind me over there being interviewed by his own media. We came here because, I mean, we can't afford to play at Chris's level. You know, he has his BBC money, we have our YouTube money. Quite a big difference between those two things. So he gets justice, basically. We get value. We have put a retraction and an apology on the website, and we have agreed to pay Chris £30,000. I think that's £10,000 now, 10 in January and 10 in April. And that comes out of our own pockets. The £70,000 it costs to get to this point for our 15 minutes in court in there, that was all paid for by the Fieldsports Nation, and that really is the heart of this plug. Thank you to you guys, and we couldn't have done it without you. It's been very, very good indeed. Thank you. What will we do from now on? Well, the first thing to say is he hasn't killed us, which is marvellous. He has not ended Fieldsports Channel, so we will continue to shine a light on what Chris doesn't want us to shine a light on. I've got to be quite careful about my words here. I can't repeat the allegation.
Because of being here.
Exactly. Big Gothic-y script up there, yeah. And lawyers, they give me the creeps. So yeah, we've got to be careful what we say, but we will continue to shine a light on what, you know, he says lots of outrageous things, and we all know that. He gets to change government policy with a legal letter. This legal outing, I think, probably cost him £150,000. You know, add that to all the money he's spent on lawyers and other cases this year. It's been a very expensive year for him. He will make a great deal about how it's all a hate campaign against him. Of course, it's his hate campaign against us, and that's what we got to watch out for. You know, he's the one who calls shooters and trail hunters psychopaths. He's the one who called us hate terrorists. Particularly fond of that phrase. That's what we'll do. Please support us. Link below. Now to my co-defendants. It is on the Fieldsports Channel news stump, the accused.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. The RSPB says that pheasant pens reduce the quality of woodland. The bird charity is using pheasant shooting as a way to break up the respected FSC forestry certification kite mark. With other groups from the conservation industry body, the RSPB is seeking a ban on pheasant pens in some FSC certified woodland. As a result, private landowners are considering splitting from the scheme. Basque is a member of UKWAS, the body that sets the rules for FSC in the UK, and hopes to resolve the situation.
Delighted to say that WAS has actually agreed to have a review meeting for the standard to be reviewed, with our objective to have it removed so we can actually have sustainable release of game birds in the woodlands.
A new environmental group has taken the fight to water company United Utilities over sporting leases and water pollution. The United Utilities Consultative Panel are a group of locals in northwest England who say the water company should be held accountable for environmental degradation. It has issued a plea for an urgent consultation with the people in the northwest, amid fears up to 23 shoots will lose long-standing leases. It has placed an advertising van with giant posters of sewage pipes discharging effluent, proclaiming Northwest England brought to you by United Utilities, parking it outside the company headquarters and around Warrington this week.
They just feel left out and abandoned pretty much. There's no communication coming through to them. And these leases have been in people's families for up to 80 years. So they're passionate about the moors.
Leading vets are asking for a consultation before moves to end the culling of badgers in the UK. Labour's pledged it will bring an end to badger culling as a means of controlling the causes of bovine tuberculosis if it's elected to government. The British Veterinary Association has asked that decisions to change the law are underpinned by scientific research. Culling has been in place in England since 2013, with all parties trying to eradicate the disease from cattle by 2038. People living in 8 different African countries have accused Britain of racism over proposals to ban imports associated with trophy hunting. A survey of 4,000 people in countries including South Africa, Botswana and Zimbabwe found British politicians guilty of ignorant virtue signalling over the celebrity-backed trophy import ban. President Masisi of Botswana described the intervention into Africa's management of wildlife as unwelcome interference in African culture. The bill has also been described as a racist onslaught supporting neo-colonialism. Scotland's gamekeepers are calling for a change in the law to protect their trapping equipment from vandals. They are asking the Scottish Government for help to stop instances of trap wrecking, where animal rights extremists damage legally laid traps used for vermin control and post the pictures on social media. There's currently no specific offence relating to trap wrecking in the Wildlife Management and Muirburn Bill. Gamekeepers and conservation programmes use traps to control predators, including corvids, weasels and stoats.
We have to have that right of protection. How would you feel if folk, when come into your office and wreck your computer, say they're interfering with our place of work and it's not on?
A pie and peas supper raised almost £2,000 for the Gamekeepers Welfare Trust. Shooting and hunting organisations and even local MP Robbie Moore came to Ilkley Rugby Club outside Leeds to talk shooting, listen to panellists and even enjoy some shopping. Here's knife maker Alan Johnson from Dan & Blades. Countryside campaigner Simon Grace organised the event. America's ornithologists have said they're changing the names of birds honouring historical figures, as they could be politically insensitive or even racist. The president of the American Ornithological Society, Colleen Pannell, says some English bird names have negative associations with the past because their names honour people linked to slavery, racism and misogyny. The AOS says it plans to remove all eponymous bird names and use more scientific names instead. It highlights Bachman's sparrow, pictured, and Bachman's warbler, both named after the 19th century clergyman John Bachman, who was also a slave owner. The value of hunting, shooting and fishing to the American economy is $394 billion. The US Fish and Wildlife Service has released figures from a survey carried out last year, which measured the value of outdoor activities. The University of Chicago carried out the survey for the US government. It reveals in 2022, people over the age of 16 took 1.7 billion trips to participate in outdoor activities, including fishing, hunting, wildlife watching, recreational boating, and target shooting. And finally, here's a story about a fox hunt with a difference. This fox has been spotted over the past 2 weeks in the Hampshire town of Gosport, with a length of pipe stuck around its head and neck. While most in the field sports community agree it should be dispatched, now a fox rescue project says its volunteers are camping out to catch it to remove the pipe. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. Now, money makes our lawyers go round. Likes and subscribes make David go round. So please click like and subscribe. Thank you.
I'm also going to use now to mention Fieldsports Extra, which goes out on Tuesdays. And what's in this one? A Fieldsports Nation member in his natural environment, a top tip from a loader, and a member of the criminal classes.
Yeah, that's not nice. No, whether way you cut it, it's not nice.
Plus, we're giving away a £150 shooting lesson at the Oxford Gun Company, and we gave away a £100 pair of Bolly shooting glasses. Links to both of those and to joining the Fieldsports Nation so you can watch Fieldsports Extra below. And while we're on links, don't forget the Pulsar demo evening coming up at 5 Gun Shop Cleaning Guns on the 15th of November, which also features guns and clothing from companies including Sacco and Sealand. Now, a word from Bergara.
Better. It isn't just a word. It's a declaration, a pursuit, a mindset, a commitment to never resting on your laurels. It's the force that drives innovation. Better is the word that led us to developing this, the B14 Squared Crest. We could have been satisfied with the reputation of unflinching ruggedness and unwavering accuracy that the B14 series built, but we knew we could make it even better. Using techniques originally developed for the aeronautics industry, we built this carbon stock with industry-leading technologies, bringing space-age rigidity and ultra-lightweight performance down to earth and into your hands. So where do we go from here? Anywhere.
Next up, we're off to Warter Priory, a fabulous shoot in Yorkshire, who incredibly generously donated a peg to our charity auction, which helped fund our 15 minutes in there today. James Marchington went and followed our winning gun at Warter Priory.
We're at the renowned Warter Priory shoot in East Yorkshire. Fieldsports Nation member Pete Thompson from Norfolk is following in the footsteps of royalty, enjoying a phenomenal driven pheasant and partridge day. He won the day in our sporting auction, helping to fund our defence against a legal attack by BBC TV presenter Chris Packham. Pete and his loader, also called Pete, are working like clockwork, and the birds just keep coming.
What a fantastic first drawing. That was absolutely stunning.
Yeah?
Yeah, these birds were doing all sorts, going different ways, different directions. Very good drive. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I mean, that's just a fantastic place, and when you see how many people are involved, that's just absolutely phenomenal. And it's got so many different aspects of the day to all come together, with the guns and the loaders and the beaters and the flankers and the drivers and everything else. That's just, run like a military position. Absolutely phenomenal. And this was just a starter drive to get us warmed up.
The shoot is run by head keeper Frank Croft, who is also a Fieldsports Nation member. It was Frank's idea to auction a day's shooting to support our fundraising appeal.
It's like a 14,000 acre estate. It's steeped in history with shooting. You know, in the 1900s, you've got Winston Churchill, the Kings of all shot here. Obviously, different sort of birds to what they shoot now. You know, we've took it forward. We've done a lot of tree felling, opening things up, a lot more management, and we also do a lot for the wildlife as well. We have a lot of game strips that we don't shoot, that we leave for wildlife. You know, we have a huge small bird count, very huge, and we also have a big bird of prey count as well.
We're double gunning today, so I've got a Parazzi HPX, one of John Jeffrey's HPXs, 33-inch barrels. It's an MX8, lovely gun, and the other one, which I'm using as a pair, is a 33-inch barrel, but it's an MX12. So they're not a matched pair, they're just a pair. They've got a fantastic trigger, and I just love using them. They're so well balanced. They're a real nice gun to use. Well done, Nick.
Very tired.
Phenomenal stuff there.
Great shooting with you, buddy.
Yeah, you too.
I saw you connect with some wonderful birds.
Like all the guns today, Pete is shooting steel cartridges with eco wads.
You've got to move forward. Hence, we've taken the decision to go non-toxic. We have no lead shot allowed. It's been like an Achilles heel in shooting, according to the people that don't like you to put any toxic into shooting. So if we take it out, then it's there. It does do the job. The cartridges are better than the ability of most guns without being rude. Up to 50, 60 yards, there was no problem at all with them, you know. And it's mind over matter. If you come with an open mind, you go home with a change view. Everything we do goes to the table. As you can see, there's a fridge van goes round. It's all stacked carefully into trays, and away it goes. And the game day just come every day and take it away. Today there'll be, I think, 66 people today, clickety-click. They're all walks of life, from retired people who come for company to speak to people. They get exercise. As you can see, we feed them, we give them a drink or two, and it's a very social event for them. Lots of little kiddies come, and on Saturdays we're full of kiddies. We look after them, they all get a bit of pay, and they enjoy that, and we give them the dinners, and it gets them out, it gets them to socialise, exercise. What a good tool. Yeah, it should be compulsory, that's what it should be, yeah. For our area around here, I mean, if we went, God knows what would happen to them. Yeah, I think it amounts to about 10,000 man days a year just for beating. Yeah, not the keepers or the part-timers, just in beating. It's a lot of employment. And the revenue it brings to the government, I mean, it's unreal, really, you know. Foreign money coming in, money changing hands. It was always made to change hands. You know, people come shooting, stay in the hotels, even down to buying cars or waterproof clothes. It goes right through, it goes a long, long way.
On to the third drive, and once again there's the anticipation before the birds come over in huge numbers. Pete is carefully picking his shots.
I missed plenty there. I had a lot of shooting, so we connected with a few real good, a few good birds. So yeah, we connected with one or two. That was another fantastic drive. Third drive, and that all been absolutely fantastic. Just the quality of the birds is just sublime. I sort of tend to keep a log of what cartridges I shot, how many birds I killed. It's just from a game book, really. There's nothing, you know.
Did you beat yourself up about the percentages? Or?
No, not at all. No, and the more cartridges I can fire and the less birds the better. That means they're better birds and they can beat me. So, yeah, not a problem at all. wind was pushing them a little bit down the line, but there was we had more than enough shooting there. We had 67 shots, and we were on the end of the line. And yeah, what a fabulous drive! I mean, that's, you know, most shoots if you shoot 67 shots in one day, that's, you know, you had a good day. But just done it on one drive. Yeah, just been a wonderful day. The weather's held out for us. We missed the storm. Hopefully, Fieldsports Channel has benefited a little bit by it. So it's just been a privilege to be able to shoot here for the day. And, you know, thanks to Warter Priory and Fieldsports Channel for putting it on.
For more about Warter Priory, see waterpriory.com, link below. And to join the Fieldsports Nation and support Fieldsports Channel, go to fieldsportschannel.tv and click on Membership.
Chris showing how to be interviewed by short people in the background there. He put your legs wide apart. Very clever. The man's full of technique. Next up, we've got Hunting YouTube, brought to you by James Marchington.
I've been trawling through YouTube looking for the best hunting and shooting films on offer this week, and here's what I found. With the pheasant season in full swing, there are plenty of new game shooting videos out. Here's one from the stunning Plasdynam estate in mid-Wales, featuring some nifty footwork by shooting ground manager Josh Brown, all accompanied by the sound of rushing water and Tchaikovsky's 1812 overture. Meanwhile, in Hungary, Captain Ball is out with a group of friends shooting driven pheasants with muzzle-loading black powder guns. He's even fitted a shot camel to his old Wesley Richards 10-bore, and it only falls off once. Just to illustrate the huge variety that pheasants can offer, here's Johnny Carter of TGS Outdoors on a very different type of driven day, shooting in shirt sleeves at Rancho Peligro in the Caribbean. If, like me, your driven game shooting isn't all it could be, instructor Simon from Hound Hall Shooting offers 5 top tips, covering everything from footwork to gun mount, swing, and lead. It may be game season, but the crops still need protecting from pigeons. The Jack Pike team are out with the legend that is Andy Crow, decoying over a barley stubble drilled with turnips for a demonstration of good shooting, along with some insights into Andy's methods for getting the best bag. With the move to steel shot looking inevitable, Rob Speed decides it's time to find out how it performs. He battles with a wonky tripod to pattern test steel game loads from Hull, Gamebore and Ely through his blazer at up to 50 yards and tries to decide whether they'll do the business. Meanwhile, McHugh CB in Australia is hunting foxes using a variety of methods, including flushing with dogs to his 3-barrel 20-bore with mixed results. Finally this week, here's a classic film of elk hunting in the frozen wilderness of Montana. Originally filmed in the 1960s, it's just been released on Craig Boddington's channel. That's it for this week. We've put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the I symbol top right or check this film's description. If you have a YouTube film you'd like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email me the link, jamesm@fieldsportschannel.tv.
Well, that's it for this week. If you haven't done so already, please pop over to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook and on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, pop your email address into our register page, and we'll contact you about this show, Fieldsports Britain, which is at 7 p.m. UK time every Wednesday. And this has been Fieldsports Britain, still here despite him. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.